Hi, it's Randi Rhodes. Hope you enjoy this free clip from Political Voices Network. The controversy of Jason Aldean's video being taken down by country music television. Country music television. I don't, whatever. Okay, this was the convo.
Jason Aldean is not picking the place the way some people are trying to portray this. And I think it's done on purpose. And I think it's
like.
Okay, I should have explained it a little bit better because most people in this audience probably have no idea. I think maybe you know who Jason Aldean is, but I don't know if you know anything about his newest video offering. Okay, so Jason Aldean has a new song called Try That in a Small Town. I listened to it a bunch of times. Brett and I are having a little, he's not agreeing with me. He's not loving that. I like the song. I like it because I like Southern rock. I mean, I like that whole thing. They call it country music now, but country music is really what Southern rock used to be, and now it's country music. But anyway, I like the little haunting feeling to it. I like the little, chord progression in it. I like the auto tune. Okay, he's got a little auto tune, making him sound really cool and good. I mean, and for me, Southern rock has always been, and country music has always been about the same few things. It's been about puppies and babies and flags and guns and God and wife beating and pill popping and snorting and shooting and drinking whiskey until, you pass out, and gambling. I mean, that's kind of what it is, because that's kind of what they write about, is kind of what they know. And I lived down there for a real long time in different places, different portions of it. And I kind of like the music, because I like music. I like Tony Bennett, too. I bet you I know more Frank Sinatra lyrics than you do. Do you know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden, turns out that this video that he put together to support this song, which ain't completely horrible. Okay, the song's it's not the greatest song I ever heard, but it's not the worst song I ever heard, and it's not the most racist song I ever heard. In fact, I don't hear anything racist in it. I don't. But the video is a little dicey in that the location that you saw there in that little clip of Tomi Lahren, I don't know, talking about how poor Jason Aldean is being singled out by country music television. What? For being, racist in this video. Why, he had nothing to do with the selection of the location for the shooting of his video. Poor little innocent Jason Aldean had no say in his own video location. Right. I mean, of course it's bull. It's garbage. But the problem is that they picked the Maury County Courthouse in his home state of Tennessee, which is one of the most beautiful states I have ever seen in my life. There is no way I'm going to trash Tennessee. It doesn't need trashing. It's gorgeous, okay? But this particular building has a history. And I'm guessing because Jason Aldean was forbidden from learning Tennessee history because it might have made him feel bad or some such crap. Oh, no, that will be the future generation. Okay, so this particular courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, is the same building where a mob hanged an 18-year-old kid. Same story. I mean, you're going to hear this story every time we talk about, the good old past and what happened to African Americans in this here country because black people were prospering and they were doing well, and white people just got scared that black people were going to replace them or some such crap. And so there was a story that this kid, 18-year-old Henry Choate, had, flirted with or touched or somehow winked at a little white girl or a white girl in 1927. Okay. And the white girl, who was never, ever named, never identified, and never identified him as being the assailant. And in fact, this girl's mother said, please do not do this to Henry. Henry, my daughter doesn't think it was Henry. My daughter doesn't say it was Henry. It wasn't Henry, whatever. And they hung him anyway, and they hung him from the church balcony. They lynched him. And then again, in 1946, at the same damn church, there was a race riot that resulted in the lynching of a future Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall. This small town is full of good old boys, Aldean sings, in his home state of Tennessee. Now, what's really interesting about the location and what's really interesting about the B-roll, let's call it, that plays over his song in the video. Now, I've seen videos that have absolutely nothing to do with the song, which would be something you could say if you wanted to get out from under the pressure of what you put in your video. But that's not what Jason Aldean is saying. No. What's underneath the video, what's playing in B-roll that really does agree with the lyrics that he's singing about try this in a small town, is Black Lives Matter protesters in New York City and Black Lives Matter protesters in Milwaukee and Kenosha, Black Lives Matter protesters across this country during the summer of Black Lives Matter protests. And he's saying that this video is not racist. You've never heard the word racist come out of his mouth, and you will never hear anything in the lyrics that I don't know, does he write them? He says he does, but I looked up the writers, and it ain't him. Like, all his songs are written by somebody else, written by a group of people, actually. I looked it up. It's Kelly Lovelace, Neil Thrasher, Tully Kennedy, and Kurt Michael Allison. I don't see Jason Aldean as being the writer of any of this. But anyway, he said what he is singing about, what he features in his song, is stuff that's familiar to him from his small town where he grew up. And so he's singing about what's familiar to him. Well, I sort of kind of know, what's familiar to him. And I got to tell you that it's not flag burning. Okay, it isn't.